Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first module or unit for positive psychology. I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana, in my backyard. We have had the hottest summer we have ever had. I've lived here for 20 years and it has never been as hot as it has been this summer. And we finally got some rain this weekend, so it's a little bit bearable out here, which is really quite nice. So every Sunday, I'm going to give you a quick video and then give you an overview of the week, tell you what to expect, warn you if there's a Zoom that you need to be coordinating, because those are probably as I said during our orientation, can be pretty tricky to figure out a time to meet for those Zooms. It's really important because we're not just an online class, we're an online learning community, meaning we really want to get to know each other, and in our connection with each other, we're going to learn a great deal about positive psychology. So the relationships really, really matter. So with that, you don't have a Zoom to set up this week, but you do have one for the following week. So I would go ahead and whoever gets to that doc first that lists out the group, your group, go ahead, reach out, twist everybody in the group and start working on a time to meet. Ian did that with his group already, and so I have great faith that they will have plenty of time to coordinate a time to meet. So this unit is going to be 3 weeks long, and your main challenge in this first unit is building your own habits so that you don't fall behind. I find that once, if you start strong and figure out when you're going to do your GOA work each day, then you just keep up that habit and things go well. It's when we start falling behind that it's hard to get things organized and coordinated. So what you're going to want to do is figure out your system for this first unit for staying organized, and then you can tweak it along the way to make it work for you. I recommend in the beginning, just go ahead and print out that to-do page with the calendar and mark off as you go. If you find a better system later, great. But one main thing to keep in mind is that for a lot of the assignments, you've got to go back and contribute to the discussion after you post your initial assignment. So I would make a note on that calendar, like go back and do discussion, and then don't cross it off until you've done that piece, because I don't grade it until that part is done. I consider that just as important as your initial post in the assignment, because in the discussions we take things deeper and really hopefully drive in your own learning. All right, so each week after you watch this video, you'll direct message me in Twist, and I'll ask a question at the end of each video, and then you answer it. And this is how I know that you watched the video, but I also find it's a major piece in me getting to know you. And so I appreciate that little quick contact that we have. Before I give you the question for the week, I want to just go over our main project for the semester. You're going to be working on it all semester long, starting in this first unit, and that is for the Catalyst Expedition. The Catalyst Expedition is it's like an online conference, think of it that way, that we do at the end of the semester. Most GOA classes participate. This year, I think there are over 1,000 GOA students. So imagine the amount of projects that are going to be posted on this online conference. You're going to build something that you're going to share out for a ton of people to see. So we're going to work long and hard on it so that you're proud of the work that you're creating. But here's like an overview of what it is. You're going to look out into the world and you're going to identify a group of people who are suffering. Maybe it's refugees in another country. Maybe it's people impacted by fires in whether Hawaii, Greece, wherever it is. Maybe it's people who have suffered due to the casualties of war. So think people in Ukraine. Maybe it's people struggling with poverty, homelessness, drug addiction, anxiety, depression, you name it. Sky's the limit. But we're gonna look out into the world and consider the group of people you want to focus on. Then you're going to consider, as you're becoming a positive psychology expert, you're going to consider what positive psychology theory, practice, concept could ease some of the suffering of this group. It's not going to fix the challenges they face, but one of the things that we're going to learn in positive psychology is like little practices to ease our stress and low mood can have a big impact in changing the brain. And so you'll figure out something that you want to deliver to this group, and then you'll figure out how would you deliver it. Would it be a support group? Would it be a workbook? Would it be a class, a website, a seminar? Sky's the limit, a book. You're going to design whatever that thing is, and then that is what you will present at the conference. A lot of this semester, we're going to be practicing positive psychology on ourselves and playing the role of both the researcher and the researchee. And it would be a little self-serving if we only thought about our own greater good in this class. And so this project is a way to think outside of ourselves, which is so important for others, but also for our own well-being. Okay. With that, my question of the week is, all right, so I live in New Orleans. We are in the heart of hurricane season. You can always tell that. People get really nervous around here, around hurricane season, because, it could go either way. We could be fine or not. 2 years ago, on this very weekend, we rode out Hurricane Ida. We stayed here for it, but then afterwards we lost electricity and had to leave for 2 weeks right at the beginning of the school year. So that's a little stressful and overwhelming. And for, people without resources, it can be a real hardship because it costs a lot to be away from home for 2 weeks. So you can understand the collective anxiety that comes, but sometimes it's all okay. I feel for people in Florida right now having to work it out. But when you think about where you live, what is the weather challenge that your community faces? And what do you notice about people in the community when having to face the potential of challenging weather? All right, have a great week. I'll see you soon.